Our summer type temperatures are on the way. Did not hit 90 degrees today, so we've continued our streak and I hope you've enjoyed 228 days of no 90s. That was our last 90 on September 28th, 2024. It's also my birthday. So that was the last 90 and we're getting ready to see 90s and probably a stretch of 90s going well into next week. So today's high, 88. We are running above our average high of 85. Right now, though, we have been under mostly sunny skies. Some high clouds moving in, and it looks like a little more cloudiness will be with us overnight tonight. 86-degree temperature, winds out of the south at 14. That is that unfavorable wind for any kind of an oil burn, because if you do burn anything south of the Louisiana coast, that air is coming, or that smoke, I should say, is coming right back on land. Dew points are also on the rise, meaning an increase in humidity. There are the high clouds coming in from the west, and it looks like steadily through the overnight we'll see more cloudiness and probably under partly to mostly cloudy skies to get our day started tomorrow, and then we break out into more sunshine. It'll likely be then, with breaking out into sun, that we get back to, or we get to 90 degrees. In the 80s outside right now, and actually all locations did stay below 90 this afternoon with dew points 60s, but notice what is down along the coastline, dew points in the 70s, and so the humidity is coming up. And when our dew points get into the 70s, that is the more oppressive type feel, and that'll also send heat indices into the mid upper 90s and even at times near 100 degrees. Winds out of the south, at least there is a breeze, not as much of a wind over the next couple of days, but at least there will be some wind to kind of mix up the atmosphere. So we can kind of call it a heat wave of a prolonged period of above normal temperatures, also high humidity. So as I'd mentioned, those heat indices nearing 100 degrees. And it looks like, though, maybe some relief from this stretch of 90s on the way next week. More on that in a moment. Here is the building upper ridge, and underneath the upper ridge, temperatures will obviously in parts of the desert in southern Texas, triple digits. Not triple digits for us, but getting up to about 90 degrees. But as I said, not to hype it too much, we do tend to get to about 90 degrees around this time of year, and we're certainly not talking about record territory. Now, the upper ridge, the upper high that'll keep us hot, that stays with us throughout the weekend and into the start of next week. Then what we're going to watch for is an upper trough. Now, at the moment, both the Euro and the GFS indicate this upper trough will, one, help to kind of suppress the high, and two, send a very weak front into the area for the end of next week and the following weekend. This would certainly be a more favorable upper pattern with this East Coast troughing for maybe some warm air and less humid air to move in by the end of next week. Still not entirely certain of the details with the drop in humidity or temperatures, but it does look like it would break us out of that stretch of 90s. Now, for the next 7 days, we're in the low 90s with maybe a drop coming in by the end of next week. But as mentioned, generally speaking, we're going to be too low below the records for this to be any kind of sensational type of a heat wave. But certainly a couple of days where the records are in the low 90s, we could come pretty close to maybe tying those. Heat index will be probably the bigger issue. With that more oppressive humidity, it'll feel more like the upper 90s and even at times around 100 degrees for the rest of the week and going into the weekend. At least the weekend will be pretty, as we'll stay under mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. At times we'll get some passing cloud cover, but the upper pattern with this ridge will keep any real organized rainfall moving up and around us, not over us. Can't rule out a stray little sprinkle here and there, but generally speaking, we're not going to get any kind of organized disturbances that would bring us any real rain chance. So as far as relief goes, maybe some passing clouds at times, but generally speaking, it looks like the models are indicating maybe more of a late night, early morning cloud cover, and during the heat of the day, we break out to mostly sunny skies. That doesn't help us out at all with the temperature. So about 90 or so through the next 7 days, a little bit more of a wind picking up Tuesday and Wednesday, and then hopefully we get a weak front to move in late next week.